1. Introduction. My name is Kendra. I am 24 years old. My life is simple. I work at the Sweet Spot. This is a small bakery in my town. I make bread and cakes there every day. I like my job very much. I like the smell of fresh bread. I like helping the customers. My days are usually quiet and the same. This is good for me. One day, a new man came into the bakery. I had never seen him before. He looked tired. His clothes were old but clean. He did not look like he had much money. Every time he came, he bought the cheapest bread we sold. Sometimes he only bought one small cookie, but he came nearly every day after that first time. He told me his name was Henry. He said he was looking for a job. He told me it was hard to find work, and he did not have much money right now. I felt a little sad for him, but he seemed like a kind person. Even though he looked tired and maybe worried about his life, he had kind eyes. His eyes were warm. They made me feel that he was a good man inside. I started to notice him more than the other customers. Henry stayed a little longer. He would look at the different types of bread, but he always chose the cheapest one. He was always polite and said thank you. He started talking to me a little bit each day when he came in. He would ask how my day was going. I would ask him if he had found a job yet. He usually said no, but he would still give a small smile. His smile was nice. It made me feel warm inside. I started to think about him when he was not in the bakery. My life was quiet before Henry. Meeting him felt like the start of something new. This is the beginning of our unusual story. It is about Henry and me. It is a lesson about looking beyond how people look. Henry looked like he had problems and no money, but his kind eyes caught my attention. This is where our story begins. 2. Kind Henry. Henry and I began to talk more each day. He often came to the bakery when it was not busy. He told me about his life. Finding a job was very hard for him. He said he did not have much money right now. I felt sad when I heard this. His situation seemed difficult, but Henry was always very polite. He always asked how my day was going. Even when he looked tired or worried, he had a kind smile for me. This smile made me feel warm inside. I started to like Henry more and more. He seemed like a truly good person. Sometimes, when my boss was not looking, I gave Henry a free cookie. It was a small thing, but it made him smile bigger. Seeing his happy face made me happy too. My feelings for him grew stronger each time he visited. One day, Henry asked me to go for a walk with him in the park on Saturday. He said he could not take me to a nice restaurant because he had no money. I was very happy he asked me. I quickly said yes. On Saturday, the sun was bright, and we walked in the park together. I made some sandwiches at home, and we sat on a bench to eat them. We talked for a long time that day. He told me about simple dreams he had, like having a small garden one day. While we were walking, Henry held my hand. It felt nice and natural. At that moment, I knew that having money did not matter to me. I liked Henry for who he was, not for what he had or did not have. We went on other simple dates too. We visited the public library because it was free. We sat in the town square and watched people walk by. Henry even helped me fix a shelf in my small apartment. He was good with his hands and helpful. My friend Lily asked me about Henry. She knew he did not have a job. She asked why I liked him. I told Lily that Henry was kind, smart, and made me laugh. I told her that money was not important for love. I knew my feelings were real. I was falling in love with this kind man named Henry. 3 hard days. Life continued. My job at the bakery felt normal and safe, but my feelings for Henry were growing, making everything feel a little different. One afternoon, Henry came into the bakery. He looked very sad. His smile was gone. His shoulders were low. He came to the counter slowly. "Kendra," he said quietly, "I did not get the job I hoped for. I think I will never find a good job." His eyes looked very unhappy. He looked at me for a long time. "Kendra," he said again, his voice low, "I have nothing to give you. No money, no future that looks good. Maybe you should find someone else, someone who can offer you a better life." He looked away like he was in pain. My heart felt heavy for him, but his words made me feel strong. I reached across the counter and took his hand. His hand felt cold. "Henry," I said softly, "please listen. You give me many things. Your smile is important to me. Your time with me is important. When you listen to me, that is important. These things are much more important than money or things." I held his hand tighter. "You are a good man. That is what matters to me." I did not know then that this was a test, but I meant every word. He looked surprised, and a little light came back into his eyes. He squeezed my hand. Later that week, Henry and I were at a small, cheap cafe. It was a simple place, but warm. We were sharing 1 cup of coffee because we did not have much money. We were talking and laughing a little. Then, some people walked into the cafe. They looked very rich. Their clothes were expensive. They saw Henry. It seemed they knew him from somewhere. They stopped and looked at him, and not in a kind way. A woman with a loud voice spoke. "Oh, Henry, is that really you?" she said. Her voice was not friendly. "You look so poor." She and the people with her laughed. It was a sharp, unkind sound. I felt very angry. My face felt hot. How could they be so rude? Henry looked hurt. He looked down at his old clothes. I stood up quickly. I looked at the rich people. "Stop that," I said loudly. My voice was shaking a little, but I felt brave. "He is a wonderful man. You are very rude to laugh at him." I took Henry's arm. "Let's go, Henry." I pulled him gently away from the table. We left the cafe. Outside, Henry was quiet for a moment. He looked at me with surprise in his eyes, but also with thanks. "Thank you, Kendra," he said quietly. "You were very brave for me back there." He smiled a little. Even on a hard day, his smile was the best thing. A big question. One evening, Henry asked me to come with him. He took me to a small hill outside the city. From the hill, we could see many lights from the buildings below. It was a beautiful view. Henry gave me a flower. It was a single, simple flower. He said he picked it for me from a field. Henry was quiet for a little time. Then he turned to me. He looked into my eyes. He said, "Kendra, I do not have much money. My future is not clear right now." He looked a little sad. "But I know one thing," he continued. "I love you. I love you with all my heart." My heart started to beat very fast. What was happening? Then Henry took something from his pocket. It was a small box. He opened it. Inside was a ring. It was not gold. It was not shiny with stones. It was a simple, thin metal ring. Henry looked at me again. His hands were shaking a little. He asked me the biggest question. "Kendra," he said softly, "will you marry me? Will you share my simple life with me?" I was very surprised. A simple life? Yes, it might be hard, but I loved Henry so much. A life without him felt impossible. My eyes were full of happy tears. "Yes, Henry," I said. "Yes, I will marry you." A big smile came onto Henry's face. He took the simple ring from the box. He put it on my finger. It fit perfectly. To me, it was the most beautiful ring in the world. He held me close. "You have made me so happy, Kendra," he said. So happy. We sat on the hill for a long time. We talked about our future. We talked about a small house, maybe with a little garden. We talked about having children one day. We knew we did not need a lot of money to be happy. We had our love, and that felt like everything. Later, I told my friend Lily. She was surprised. She asked if I was sure because life with Henry would be simple, maybe hard. But I told her I was sure. I loved Henry. That was the most important thing. 5. The secret. The evening after I said yes to Henry, he told me he wanted to take me somewhere special. We would celebrate our engagement. I felt very happy. I thought maybe he would take me to a slightly nicer cafe than before, or perhaps a quiet place by the river. I put on my best dress, which was still quite simple. I waited for Henry outside my small apartment building. Soon, a car arrived. It was a very big black car. It looked very expensive. My eyes opened wide. I was very surprised. Henry walked from the car with a strange smile. He said, "This car is for us tonight, Kendra. Please get in." I felt confused, but I trusted him. I got into the car. It was very comfortable inside. Much more comfortable than any car I had been in before. The car began to drive. We did not go towards the cafes or parks I knew. We drove to a different part of the city. This part was very beautiful. There were many trees and the houses were very, very big. They looked like houses from a movie, like palaces. I looked out the window, wondering where we were going. The car stopped at a huge metal gate. There was a wall that went on and on. A man in a uniform came and opened the gate. The car drove inside. There was a long road, and then I saw it, an enormous house. It was like a palace I had only seen in books. It was very big, with many windows and lights. The car stopped in front of the house. Another man in a uniform opened my door. Henry helped me out. We walked towards the big doors. My heart was beating very fast. I felt a strange feeling inside, a mix of excitement and worry. We went inside the house. It was amazing. The floor was shiny. There were big paintings on the walls and soft carpets. Many people worked inside. They wore nice clothes like uniforms. They all looked at Henry. As we walked, these people spoke to him. They said, "Welcome home, Mr. Thorne." Mr. Thorne? My name for him was Henry. Who was Mr. Thorne? I looked at Henry. His face was calm, but his eyes looked different now. My confusion grew. My heart pounded loudly in my chest. This place was not simple. These people called him Mr. Thorne. What was happening? This was not the Henry I knew from the bakery. This was a big secret, and I did not understand it at all. 6. Why he lied. Henry led me into a very large office. It was beautiful but strange to me. He looked different here. His clothes were expensive, and he seemed stronger, like a very important man. This was not the Henry from the bakery. "Kendra," he said. His voice was deeper now. "I must tell you the truth. I am not poor. I am Henry Thorne. I am the head of Thorne Industries. I have a lot of money. This house is mine." My head felt light. I could not believe his words. Henry Thorne. The big company. I sat down quickly. "But your old clothes," I whispered. "The cheap bread, your small room." It did not make sense. Henry sat near me. He looked sad now and a little afraid. "Kendra, please try to understand why I did this. A long time ago, I loved a woman. She said she loved me too, but she only loved my money. When my business had problems and I lost some money, she left me. It hurt me very much in my heart." He looked at me with sad eyes. After that, I was afraid. I wanted to find someone who loved me, the man, not my money. So I decided to pretend. I acted like I had no money. It was like a test to find real love. He told me about other women he met. I met other women when I was poor Henry. At first, they seemed to like me, but when they learned I had no job and no money, they left me. They told me I was not good enough for them. Some even laughed at me. Henry took my hand. "But you, Kendra," he said, "you were different. You loved me when I had nothing. You stayed with me. You said yes to marrying me when you thought my life was difficult and simple. Your love felt real." My mind was turning. I was shocked by the secret. I felt hurt. He had lied to me for many months. I felt angry too. "You lied," I said. Tears started to fall down my face. All this time you lied about everything. 7. My choice. After Henry told me the truth, I felt very bad. My heart hurt a lot. He lied to me for months. I said to him, I need time to think. I must be alone. I took the simple ring off. I put it on the table. This ring is for the man I thought I knew, I said. I don't know you now. He looked very sad. His face was full of pain. I left his big house and went home in the big car. My small apartment felt strange. I sat and thought for a long time. I cried many tears. He lied. Yes, that was very bad. But why? He wanted to find true love. He was scared because of bad things in his past. My feelings for poor Henry were true. I loved him. Was this rich Henry the same man? I felt very confused inside. It was a difficult time. I talked to my friend Lily. I told her everything. She was very surprised about the big house and the money. She listened carefully. Then she said, Kendra, think. He chose you. He chose you when he had nothing. You loved him when he had nothing. That is special. He wanted to find someone who loved him, not his money. That is what he found in you. Lily's words helped me see things differently. I started to understand Henry's fear and his reason, even if his way was wrong. His lie was his way to protect his heart, a bad way, but maybe I could understand. Henry called me after a few days. He asked to meet. We met in the quiet park where we had our first date. He looked worried. He told me something else. Kendra, he said softly, some women who did not want me when I was poor Henry, they called me. Now they know I am rich. They want to be with me. They say they made a mistake. I felt a little sharp pain. People wanted his money, not him. But Henry looked at me very seriously with his kind eyes. I do not want them, he said quickly. They did not want the real me. You did. You are the only one I want, Kendra, always. I looked into his eyes. They were the same kind eyes from the first day. The lie was big. It hurt me. But his reason was love, a search for real love. My love for him was still there, strong inside me. It did not go away. Henry, I asked him softly, can I trust you now? Will there be no more lies between us? He promised me everything. No more lies, Kendra. Never again. I was wrong. I was a fool. I am so sorry. I love you very much. Please forgive me, he said. He looked very sincere. My heart felt a yes. It was a difficult choice, a big decision, but I loved him. I forgive you, Henry, I said, but we must always be honest with each other from now on. Always tell me the truth. He looked so happy when I said that. 8. Our future. Henry was very happy when I said I forgave him. His face showed great relief. He took my hand, and his eyes were bright with feeling. It felt right. My heart felt light after the heavy days of thinking. We talked for a long time about everything that had happened. He promised again that there would be no more secrets between us. Our future would be built on truth. Then Henry took out a small box. Inside was a big, beautiful ring with a shiny stone. It was very different from the simple metal ring he gave me before. He looked at the beautiful ring, then at the simple one he still had. He smiled a little. "This big ring is from Henry Thorne," he said gently. "He wants to marry you." Then he showed me the small ring. "And this simple ring is from Henry from the bakery. He still wants to marry you too. He never stopped wanting that." He looked at me with hope in his eyes. "Will you still marry both of us?" he asked softly. I smiled. Tears came to my eyes, but they were happy tears this time. "Yes," I said. "Yes, I will marry both of you." My love for the man from the bakery was real, and I knew the rich man was the same kind person. Henry put the simple ring on my finger first. It felt warm and familiar. Then he put the beautiful diamond ring next to it. They looked strange together, but they told our story. Our story was now about two Henrys and my one love. News about us became public quickly. People talked a lot. Some said it was a scandal because Henry lied. But many people saw it as a story about true love, about looking past money and outside things. It was strange to have our private life in the newspapers, but we held each other's hands. We knew what was real for us. We planned a special wedding. It was a mix of Henry's world and my world. Important people were there, but my friends from the bakery and my friend Lily were there too. I wore a beautiful dress, and on my finger I wore both rings. They were symbols of our journey, of finding love in an unusual way. When we said our promises, we promised to always be honest and to love each other for exactly who we are. We started our life together. It was a new world for me, full of big houses and different rules. But Henry made sure our life was also simple in important ways. We built our home and our future on honesty and the strong, real love we found. My yes to the man I thought was poor was not a mistake. It was the start of a wonderful life, proving that real love is the most valuable thing of all.